Right, let's do question 1.2. We have the first equation, x plus 2 is equal to 2y. Let's call it equation 1. And then we have 1 over x plus 1 over y is equal to 1. Let's call it equation 2. Right. So how do we deal with this? We can start by dealing with equation 2 and eliminate the denominators. How do we eliminate the denominators? We can multiply everything by the LCD here. The LCD is equal to xy. So we multiply 1 over x times xy, then plus 1 over y times xy. We multiply everything by xy is equal to 1 times xy. Okay, then what do we get? X divided by x is 1, y divided by y is 1. So we remain with y plus x is equal to xy. It's still equation 2. Let's write equation 2. It's still equation 2. We just rearranged it. Right. So now from equation 1, from 1 we can isolate x. We can isolate y, but y is going to create fractions for us. So let's isolate x. And then x is equal to 2y minus 2. That's equation 3. From what? From equation 1. Now we can substitute equation 3 into equation 2. So let's say 3 into 2. Equation 3 into equation 2. Where there's x, we put 2y minus 2. Let's do it this side. So it's y plus 2y minus 2 is equal to y times 2y minus 2. Okay, then let's remove the bracket. Y plus 2y minus 2 is equal to 2y squared minus 2y. Right. Let's get our standard form. 0 is equal to 2y squared. Negative 2y minus 2. If we transpose this, it's going to be negative 4y minus y is going to be negative 5y. Right, we transpose negative 2 becomes plus 2. So this is our standard form. Now we have to factorize this. Okay, you can use the quadratic formula if you want, but factorizing will be faster. So we say 2y squared times 2. We get 4y squared. Right? Then what do? We look for the factors of 4y squared that can give us negative 5y. Right? So 4y squared is positive. So both factors must have the same sign. It can be negative negative or positive positive. But negative 5 confirms that it should be negative negative. So it should be negative 4y and negative 1y. Okay? Negative 4y times negative 1y is positive 4y squared. But negative 4y minus y is negative 5y. Sometimes we just do without putting the y's. Just deal with the factors without putting the y's, just the numbers. Right? So what we do now, we replace this negative 5y with negative 4y and negative y. So it becomes 0 is equal to 2y squared minus 4y minus y plus 2. Right? And then what do? We factorize by grouping in pairs. Factorize this pair, factorize this pair. So it's going to be 0 is equal to 2y. I factored out 2y here, and then we remain with y minus 2. And then here I factor out negative 1, so that I have a common bracket, and then we have y minus 2. So 0 is equal to, we have a common bracket here, we can factor it out, y minus 2, and then the second bracket we have 2y minus 1, 2y minus 1. Right. And then so it means that y is equal to 2 or y is equal to 1 over 2 from these two. Okay, so we have the values of y. Let me show you the other method for factorizing this. This other method that I've been doing, we can split 2y squared into 2y and y. And then we look at the last term. What is it? The last term here is 2. So it's this part. The last term is 2. So 2 we can split it into 1 and 2 or 2, 1. Right. Then you cross multiply. So if I say y times 1, I get y. 2y times 2, I get 4y. So this combination can give me 5y. But let's check the other combination. If I say 2y times 1, I get 2y. Y times 2, I get 2y. Then 2y and 2y will give us 4y. So this one is out. So we're taking these two. 2y, y, and then 1, 2. Cross multiply. Y times 1, that is y. Then 2y times 2, that is 2, that is 4y. And then we want to get negative 5. So it can be negative y, negative 4, negative y, negative 4y, which is negative 5y. So now if it's negative, this must be negative, this must be negative. So that's why we have this bracket, 2y minus 1 and y minus 2, like that. Okay. Right, so now we have the values of y. We can find the values of x. Let's use equation 3 to find the values of x. Right, if y is equal to 2, so we're going to have x is equal to 2 times 2 minus 2. Then 2 times 2 minus 2, what is it? 2 times 2 is 4, minus 2 is 2, so x is equal to 2. Right, and then if y is equal to 1 over 2, we have x is equal to 2 times 1 over 2 minus 2. 2 times half is 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. X is equal to negative 1. X is equal to negative 1 there. Okay, so we have the values of y, we have the values of x. Right, how do we collect our marks here? Right, we have our equation 3. We substituted correctly. Where did we substitute? Here. And then we have our standard form. This is our standard form. And then we have the y values. We have the x values. 5 marks.